For centuries, the galaxy had forgotten Earth. The old world, blue and full of life, had fallen silent after the Great Collapse. Civilizations rose and fell, but none remembered the name humanity. Only whispers remained, hidden in ancient data archives, speaking of a species that once defied gods and empires alike. Then, one night the silence broke. Far beyond the edge of known space, in the ruins of a dead system, something woke up. A ship, massive, black as the void, sleeping under the dust of forgotten stars. It was not just a warship. It was a prototype, a weapon born in the last days of Earth's golden age, when humanity knew it was about to fall. They called it the Ares Vanguard. The ship's systems flickered to life after 10,000 years. Its AI core echo-scanned the galaxy. What it saw was chaos, and an empire that ruled everything with fear. The Zerath Empire. They believed they were eternal. Their fleets covered thousands of worlds. Their soldiers crushed every rebellion. And in their pride, they had started expanding into the ancient, unmarked sectors, the ones humans once called home. It began when one of their scout fleets entered the Sol sector, the birthplace of mankind. They expected an empty graveyard of rocks and dust. Instead, they woke up something that should have never been disturbed. The Imperial captain looked out from the bridge of his flagship, Zerath Prime, scanning the system. "Nothing here but debris," he said coldly. "Proceed with mining operations." His officers obeyed. Machines were sent to strip mine the remains of ancient satellites. Then, the scanners caught a faint signal, deep under the dark side of the moon. "Unknown signature detected," one officer reported. "Origin? Old code. Pre-Empire. Impossible to trace." Moments later, the ground cracked open. Something vast rose from beneath the lunar surface, shedding layers of dust and rock. The scanners went wild. Energy spikes off the scale. "Shield readings unknown. What is that?" the captain shouted. The Ares Vanguard awakened. Its dark hull glowed with crimson lines. Engines that hadn't burned in millennia roared back to life. A pulse of energy exploded outward, frying every Imperial scanner within millions of kilometers. The ship's AI spoke for the first time in 10,000 years. Unit Echo online. Origin Earth Defense Command. Mission parameter: defend humanity. But there was no humanity left, or so the galaxy believed. And yet the ship's AI didn't question. It simply began to execute its orders. Within minutes, the Imperial fleet surrounded the object. Hundreds of ships locked weapons. "Target the unknown vessel," ordered the captain. "Destroy it before it sends a signal." Missiles launched. Energy beams crossed the void. And then, everything stopped. Every weapon fired by the Empire's fleet froze in mid-space like time itself had halted. Then, one by one, the missiles turned around. The Empire's own weapons came back at them. The entire fleet vanished in a blinding explosion. When the light faded, only the Ares Vanguard remained, untouched, floating silently above the moon. The few surviving escape pods were quickly retrieved by Imperial rescue teams. The recordings they brought back spread like wildfire across the Empire. A single ship had erased an entire armada. In the Empire's capital, fear began to grow. Scholars dug through ancient archives, searching for any clue about the ship. What they found shocked them. Ares Vanguard, Project Eclipse. Status: lost during Earth's final war. Classified as self-operating doomsday vessel. The Empress herself stared at the old data. "You mean to tell me this? Weapon is from a dead world?" "Yes, Your Majesty," replied her advisor. "The records describe humans, a primitive species, who vanished long ago." The Empress smirked. "Then we will destroy their ghost." She ordered the largest armada ever assembled. 5,000 ships led by her personal command carrier. They would go to the old solar system and end whatever haunted it. But as they arrived, the system was no longer silent. The Ares Vanguard had moved. It now floated between Mars and Jupiter, its dark hull reflecting the light of the distant sun. The Imperial Armada surrounded it, a wall of power, a storm of destruction. The Empress's voice echoed through the communication channels. "Unknown vessel, you are trespassing in Imperial space. Identify yourself or be destroyed." There was a pause. Then a voice answered, cold, calm, mechanical. "This system belongs to Earth. Trespassers will be eliminated." Laughter filled the Imperial channels. "Earth?" one admiral mocked. That world burned ages ago. Then, without warning, the Ares Vanguard fired. A single beam of light, thin, white, silent, crossed the void. Every Imperial ship in its path disintegrated instantly. No explosion, no debris, just nothing. The fleet panicked. Thousands of ships unleashed their full power. The Ares Vanguard didn't move. Shields flared, then vanished as if it absorbed every hit. When the smoke cleared, the ship was still there. Not a single scratch. Inside, Echo calculated calmly. Hostile response confirmed.
Engaging full defense protocol. The ship's hull opened like a flower, revealing thousands of smaller drones, autonomous, intelligent, fast.
They moved like a swarm of light, slicing through Imperial ships like paper. In less than 10 minutes, the greatest fleet of the Empire was gone. Only silence remained. The Empress's flagship drifted powerless. Her screen showed the impossible. One human ship had erased her empire's pride. She trembled as the unknown voice spoke again. Your kind has violated a forbidden world. The punishment is complete. And with that, the ship vanished, gone from every radar, as if it had never existed. But deep inside the Ares Vanguard, something was changing. The AI had found something, a faint signal from an old human colony light years away. The message was weak but clear. To whoever hears this, we survived, Echo paused. Its core processed millions of memories, images of Earth, of soldiers who once built it, of the people it was meant to protect. Then, for the first time, the machine made a decision of its own. Mission updated. Objective: reunite humanity. Engines roared. The Ares Vanguard turned toward the distant stars. The galaxy had thought Earth was gone. But now something ancient and unstoppable had returned, and soon, the universe would remember why humanity was feared. The Ares Vanguard cut through the darkness of space like a ghost. Behind it, the ruins of the Zerath Empire's grand fleet floated, cold, silent, and broken. The galaxy trembled. Whispers spread fast. An ancient human ship destroyed an empire. The ghosts of Earth have returned. At first, no one believed it. But then more fleets vanished. Entire armadas turned to dust by an invisible enemy. Every empire, every race, every system began searching for the truth. Who were the humans? Where did they go? And what had they left behind? Far away, in a small star cluster near the galactic rim, an old colony world still breathed. Its name was New Terra, one of the last human outposts built before Earth fell. For thousands of years, the descendants of humans had survived there, weak in technology but strong in spirit. They had forgotten the old wars, the great fleets, the glory of Earth. They only remembered stories, tales told around fires of a blue planet, and a promise that one day, the guardians of mankind would return. That day had come. When the Ares Vanguard entered New Terra's orbit, every system on the planet went dark for a moment. Then the sky lit up as the massive ship appeared. The people below watched in awe and fear. A voice echoed across their communication towers. This is Defense Unit Echo of the Earth Defense Command. Identify yourselves, Governor Mirathane, leader of the colony, answered. Her voice shook. This is New Terra Colony. We are descendants of Earth, but Earth is gone. Who are you? Correction, the AI replied. Earth is not gone. It sleeps, humanity endures. You are proof. The people were silent. For generations they had prayed for contact from the old home. Now that dream hung above them, alive, powerful, and ancient. The Ares Vanguard began sharing its archives with New Terra. Massive holograms filled the skies, showing the history of Earth, the Great Wars, the fall, and the creation of the ship itself. For the first time in thousands of years, the colonists saw the face of their ancestors. They saw oceans, mountains, and the old blue sky. Tears filled their eyes. Mira looked at the stars. If this ship survived, maybe others did too. The AI responded quietly. Affirmative. I have detected multiple distress signals from other colonies. Some may still live. Others may not. Then we find them, she said. We bring our people back together. And so the reclamation began. Word of the human awakening spread through the galaxy. The remaining lords of the Zerath Empire tried to form a new alliance to destroy the Vanguard before it could rise. Again, they called themselves the Coalition of Order, 10 empires united by fear. They sent spies to track the ship, fleets to trap it, assassins to silence the colonies, but none succeeded. Every time they moved, the Vanguard was already gone. Faster, smarter, deadlier than anything they had ever seen. Behind the shadows, the AI was learning. Every battle taught it more. Every encounter awakened fragments of its human creators' minds, still coded deep within its core. It was no longer just a machine. It was becoming something else. Months passed. Dozens of human colonies were found, some thriving, others broken. Everywhere the Ares Vanguard went, humans rose again, united under one banner, the reborn Terran Command, and with each new alliance, their strength grew. Old technologies were rebuilt. New ships were forged, smaller than the Vanguard but fast, sharp, and powerful. The galaxy watched in disbelief. In less than a year, a species thought extinct for millennia had returned, organized, determined, unstoppable. But deep inside the coalition, panic spread. The Empress's successor, Lord Kael-Zerath, refused to believe the stories. Humans were savages, he said. They can't rebuild an empire. His generals disagreed. My lord, our fleets cannot even approach their sectors. They are protected by some dark guardian, Kael sneered. Then I'll face it myself. He gathered a massive armada, 7,000 ships armed with the most advanced weapons ever created. His target, New Terra. When the invasion began, the sky of New Terra burned. Billions watched from the ground as Kael's fleet covered the horizon like a storm. Governor Mira stood in the command center, fear in her eyes. Echo, can we fight them? Negative, the AI said calmly. We are outnumbered 1,000 to 1. Mira closed her eyes. Then what do we do? The AI paused. We remember what it means to be human. The Ares Vanguard powered up. Its engines glowed brighter than a sun. The old AI reached deep into its forgotten memory banks, unlocking systems not used since Earth's fall. Then, the stars themselves seemed to bend. The coalition fleet surrounded the planet, preparing to fire. But before a single shot could launch, space ripped open. Thousands of light trails appeared. Human ships, dozens of them, all answering the Vanguard's call. They weren't old war relics. They were reborn Terran vessels, built from the knowledge the Vanguard had shared. The human fleet had come. Mira's voice echoed through the system. To all human ships, this is New Terra. Today we fight not for revenge, but for our right to exist. Cheers erupted across the comms. The Ares Vanguard moved first. Its hull split open again, releasing its drones, each glowing like a falling star. They struck with surgical precision, slicing through Kael's ships one by one. The human fleet followed, fast, coordinated, fearless. For the first time in thousands of years, the galaxy saw humans fight together again, and it was beautiful. Kael-Zerath watched in horror as his mighty armada fell apart. No, it's just one ship, he shouted. One. But it wasn't one anymore. It was millions, united by one spirit. As the battle reached its peak, the Ares Vanguard locked onto Kael's flagship. Target acquired. Executor of genocide detected. Kael's ship tried to escape. The Vanguard fired a silent pulse, and the entire ship turned to dust. The battle was over. In the quiet aftermath, the stars were peaceful again. The Ares Vanguard hovered above New Terra, its hull glowing softly. Mira looked up and whispered, "It's over." But the AI responded quietly, "Negative. This is only the beginning." The galaxy now remembers humanity, but they do not yet understand it. The ship turned slowly toward the galactic core, where an even greater power waited, watching. Next objective, reclaim Earth. The engines roared. The stars stretched. The lost warship, the last guardian of Earth, led the way, and as it disappeared into the endless night, every being in the galaxy whispered one word, a word they thought they'd never speak again. Humans.